Hey guys, I'm a health visitor in England. Let's talk about babies biting when they're breastfeeding and how to try and stop and prevent it. There's quite a common misconception that when babies start to get teeth, it can impact your feeding journey or your feeding journey has to come to an end. This isn't true. It can be a tricky period for them to learn how to feed with a full set of teeth, but you can 100% carry on your feeding journey with a full set of teeth. Sometimes whilst they're teething, they can bite because it's a bit uncomfortable, but I promise you can pass this stage and it will get better. One of the first big things here is making sure the latch you have is really good and really deep, because the tongue will cover their teeth as they're feeding and it will help protect your nipple from the teeth. So making sure you've got a really good deep latch, that their mouth is wide open. If the position isn't right and you're in any discomfort aside from them biting, take them off and relatch, because this is what's going to cause nipple damage or trauma. Ensure the position you're in, you're really well supporting them. If it's a bigger baby, maybe try laid back nursing. What we don't want is them to be moving their head around, which I know is really difficult as they're getting bigger, but moving their head around and kind of holding your nipple in between their teeth, or, you know, pulling away. We want them to be really well supported in line with your breast, whichever way you're choosing to feed. Making sure before you offer them a feed that they're actually hungry and they're not just looking for some relief. So you could put their finger in their mouth, your finger in their mouth, see if they bite down on it, see if they're just feeling a bit irritated. If you use things like Bonjela, those kind of creams that numb, they can be helpful, but with feeding they can actually do the opposite and numb the gums and then mean that their latch isn't as great, or they bite by accident. So make sure they're actually hungry, you've got a really wide latch and they're comfortable. Now what do we do if they actually bite? So there's two things you can do if they actually bite, is making sure you can put your finger in their mouth and delatch them, or you can actually, this feels quite unnatural, but push their face into the breast only momentarily. We don't want to cause any suffocation here, but it does, when their nose gets covered or their mouth gets too full, it will lead for them to unlatch. Try to really watch for a change in their jaw, because like I said, with a really good deep latch, their tongue will be covering their bottom teeth. Have a look at their jaw to see if they've, moved their tongue position, if they're now not gulping and feeding properly, and look to see for warning signs that they may bite in a minute. So if you've instantly delatched because they have bitten, in a really firm voice, we're not going to shout, but firmer than usual, no, that hurts mummy, and then we're not going to reoffer the breast again for a little while. I'm not talking hours here. We want an instant reaction that if you bite, you don't get to feed. If your nipples have been damaged, you can use nipple shields, and another good thing about nipple shields when you're being bitten a lot is that you can remove the shield if they clamp down and bite. But this isn't a long-term fix. This is just something to help with if you have had some trauma, or if you're feeling really anxious and it's causing you to have a feeding aversion. They can be used to help protect your nipple, and if they bite, like I said, you can just remove the whole shield. So I hope this helps. It's a really tricky period, but they do grow out of it, and I promise it gets better.